Hello guys, and welcome back to a brand new video on this channel. Today we've got a good one for you. We have got 3 possible reasons why you may be struggling to lose fat or lose weight. Now these two terms, fat loss and weight loss, are often used interchangeably, and while they do mean very similar things, they do have some subtle differences. However, if you're watching this video and you're overweight or obese, you've got a bit of fluff there and you just want to cut down, get a bit leaner and look better, then the tips that I'm going to be talking about in this video will probably apply to you. So with that being said, let's get into point number 1, where you may be struggling to lose fat or weight, and that is that you are not weighing yourself. So let's think about it, guys. This is an obvious one, but you'd be surprised how many people actually overlook this and don't think to do it. If you want to lose fat or lose weight, you need to know that you're losing fat and losing weight. And how are you going to know that you are if you're not tracking it? Yeah? And what's the best way of tracking it is to actually step on the scales every single morning. First thing you do, before you've consumed any liquids, eaten any food, step on the scales, write down the number in your phone or on a notepad and keep a track of it at the same time every single morning. And this is going to tell you the story based on what you've been doing, and how much you've been eating, what you've been eating, and how much you've been moving your body, what impact that is having on your weight. And if your goal is to lose weight, it's going to tell you directly whether you're doing the right thing or the wrong thing. And based on that feedback, that's going to tell you what you need to do going forward. If you step on the scales and you've lost a pound, half a pound since yesterday, realistically, that tells you that you've been doing the right thing. That previous day you've been probably in a calorie deficit. On the other hand, step on the scales and you've gained half a pound or a pound, you know that you've probably either consumed too much or not moved your body enough. You've been in a calorie surplus. So moving forward, you need to either eat less and or move more. So what is it? It's telling you directly what you need to do. But it's important as well to bear in mind that the number on the scales is not the be all and end all. The goal isn't to lose 30 pounds or get to 12% body fat. The goal is to look better and feel better physically and mentally. And the scale is the tool to help you get there. That's what you've got to remember, guys. And also, not to get too attached to the number that you see on the scales. You know, a lot of people will step on the scales, the number comes up, it's not what they were expecting or hoping for, it might be higher than they're expecting, and they let it ruin their day, completely derail their progress, and get them stuck in a rut. You've got to take emotions out of it, not get attached to the number. If it's a bit higher, then so what? You can use that information to make the tweaks and changes going forward to get back on track. And before we move to the next point, it's also a proven fact that people who weigh themselves regularly are more likely to stay consistent and keep the weight off long term. So I can relate to this because when I first started my weight loss journey 2 years ago, the very first day that the journey started was when I weighed myself for the first time, probably first time ever since I've been alive. And I think I lost something like 1.5 pounds on the first day, because you do tend to lose more weight at the start, obviously, if you're doing the right things. And I was like, wow, was it that easy? That day I just consciously ate less, and I tracked it and like, oh wow, did I use 1.5 pounds in one day? So I did the same thing the next day. I think I lost another pound the next day, and I went down gradually. It's a slow process, of course, but just stepping on the scales and seeing that every day. Obviously, you don't lose weight every single day. There are fluctuations based on a number of things, but just seeing the number go down is incredibly motivating to keep going and remaining consistent, and changing your habits and your lifestyle, becoming the new you, as cringy and as cliche as that sounds. But rambling on a bit for point number 1, let's get on to point number 2, which is a bit more unique. Second possible reason why you can't lose weight, and that is because you are too bored. Yes, that's right, you're too bored. Now you may be thinking, Jack, what the hell are you talking about? And just bear with me here. So if you think about it, you might be at home, you might not have much on that day, you might be on your own, you're spending your time, hours scrolling TikTok, scrolling Instagram, watching some Netflix or YouTube, whatever it is. You're not being productive, you're not really achieving anything that day. And if you're a foodie like myself, you love your food. When you have these days where you've got nothing going on and you're bored, you're going to be thinking about food a hell of a lot more. And that's going to lead you to ultimately being far more likely to overindulge, eat more food, crappy foods, and ultimately be in a calorie surplus, which is going to cause you to gain weight and possibly fat as well. On the other hand, if you're preoccupied, you've got things going on, you're getting out of the house, you're running some errands, you're catching up with some friends and family, grabbing a coffee, whatever it is, going for a walk, like I am most days, then you're not even going to think about food. It's not even going to be on your mind because you're so busy. You don't even feel the hunger, and you just naturally, instinctively, and automatically eat less food. You might get to the end of the day and realise you haven't eaten anywhere as much as you usually would, and that gives you more, more food available to eat. Obviously, you don't want to eat too much that you go into surplus, but you get to the end of the day and you've still got plenty of food left to eat because you haven't been eating throughout the start and middle of the day. So that's my second tip for you, is to get busy, start doing things, stop spending all day indoors, get outside, see people, and just keep yourself preoccupied so your mind isn't thinking about food. Because if you don't know already, the more you think about something, whatever that is, food, or whatever it is, a goal you've got in the future, the more likely it will come into fruition, into your reality. Manifestation, you might say. So yeah, get busy is my second tip for you. And that brings us on to point number 3, why you may be struggling to lose fat or weight. And that is that you are not in control of your diet. So what do I mean by that? Well, most of us live with other people. So whether that's your partner, husband or wife, or a family member like a mum or dad, or a sibling, it could be a colleague, a workmate, or just a flatmate. Oftentimes these people are cooking meals for you on a regular or semi-regular basis. So for example, you might have had a long day at work, you get back home at 7 or 8 in the evening, you haven't had time to think about what you're eating that night or prepare any kind of food. You get in and a meal's been prepared for you by whoever it is, a lovely big bowl of pasta, smells amazing, you know it's going to taste amazing, and of course you're going to eat the bowl of pasta. It's your dinner, it's right there sitting for you, waiting to be eaten. Obviously you're not going to refuse to eat that meal. But what's the problem with this on a regular basis, if you're trying to lose weight or fat, is that you don't know what's been put into there. You've got no idea how much oil they've used in the pan. Olive oil, any of these calorie-dense oils got hundreds of thousands of calories, sometimes people are using in these pans. All the other stuff as well, like this bowl of pasta for example, no real nutritional value, carb loaded. So the problem is you don't know what's going into it. So my point number 3 is that you need to take back control and maintain as much control of your diet as possible. So that means you've got to start preparing as many of your foods yourself as you can. Be wary of the calories that's going into them and the portion sizes, the portion control. Don't have like these massive bowls of food. Keep it sensible, keep it nice and light, satisfying but nice and light. And also be worried about eating foods out in restaurants as well, because all of these restaurant places, again, you don't know what's been put into it, you don't know how many calories are in them. All of the extra stuff, sauces and oils that put into them can really add up, and you really don't know how much you're consuming. So those are my 3 top tips for trying to lose fat and weight. Obviously there's so many more different variables and tips that I could have included in this video, but I think these 3 are 3 of the most important. So start weighing yourself every morning. As soon as you wake up, first thing you do, step on the scales, record it somewhere. This is the best tool that you can possibly have to raise your awareness of your habits, eating and your activity going forward, so you can tweak things to reach your goals quicker. Secondly, start doing things, go outside, meet people, preoccupy yourself, stop spending all day indoors, idle, sedentary, with food on your mind. You need to, put your mind to use. Think productively, things that are going to benefit your life. And thirdly, prepare as many of your food as you can and be wary how much you're putting in there. Eat out at restaurants less frequently. Obviously, it's fine to do on occasion, everything in moderation, as with most things in life. And yeah, that's everything, guys. Summarise my top 3 tips. If you did enjoy this video, then please give the video a like, subscribe for more, and turn on that notification bell down below to get notified whenever a new upload goes live. So yeah, I hope you got some value and wisdom from that video, and I will catch you very soon. Cheers.